Sunday morning, everybody. Well, I'm standing here in front of Can't Get Right, so y'all know what that means. It's gonna be a Can't Get Right episode. Let's get it. Oh, after fighting this issue that the Blazers been having for a long while, I decided to ask for help from a Facebook group. But an overwhelming number of people in that group told me about something that I would have never even imagined that could have been an issue. Even though Deb had told me that she read that it could be an issue. And I'm like, how? But it's an $8 part. Maybe this will fix it, maybe it won't. But I have it. And what this is a temperature sensor for the engine. Now, this ain't the one for the gauge and the dash. There's two separate ones. This is the one that tells the computer in the Blazer after you go into closed loop, which means you warm up the temp and the loop actually closes. They said this sensor causes a lot of issues because it'll basically tell the Blazer that it's just overheating. Like as soon as the loop closes, you know, from your initial startup, which kind of bypasses the sensors, that when you get up to operating temperature, this bad boy could be malfunctioning and telling the Blazer, like, we're overheating, which is going to cause it to just throw the wrong amount of fuel and everything like that. So, we got, it was $8. I mean, why not? And then here, we have a good old O2 sensor, which I haven't opened yet, that I got on Amazon. And look at that right there. Made in China. It's probably going to be a piece of crap. And then I got a tool to put that bad boy in that I don't even know if it's going to fit the actual sensor. And I can't get it open. Where is it? When you do things with one hand, use your teeth.
Because it's easier than asking your wife.
But that's kind of what this looks like. Because the O2 sensor is pointing straight up toward the floorboard on the exhaust pipe, right next to the transmission. I don't even know if I can get anything in there, but this don't even look big enough to fit an O2 sensor, I don't think. Here, honey, open this box. There's the knife right there. She said ask for help.
It's my knife.
It is your knife. Got my Dunkin' Donuts this morning, guys. I try to start my days off work with a latte. And yeah, I carry cinnamon in the wife's car to put on my lattes. Woohoo! I think that tool actually will fit this bad boy. So we're going to try to put some of these parts in. And I'll probably get mad working on this thing. So we won't be able to film a whole lot of that because of, you know, the whole cussing thing here on YouTube. But
keep his energies to
and
himself.
the Blazers parked like in the boiling hot sun. So guys, I found that sensor, and that's it right there. Yeah, trying to find out. I can't get in through this way. I mean, I can see it down there barely, but I'm gonna try pulling this intake charge pipe off and get it through there. But just intake charge. It was made for this Blazer, but kind of not really. I had to dimple it here, under here, so the fan, you know, this thing, it didn't have nothing when I got it. I had a piece of dryer tube on it running to a cone filter. Like literal dryer tube, guys. And they didn't have the cold air intake temp sensor in it, so it ran like crap. So that's why we've always called this old girl Can't Get Right. But anyway, I'm going to try to get that sensor out of there, guys. Back to work. So I got it out, but I broke it. And you can see that hole way back in there where it goes. Yeah. But anyway, guys, I'm hoping that this will fix the issue. I mean, I wouldn't be real optimistic that it'll fix the issue if I didn't get like tons and tons of guys telling me like that they're 99% sure that it's the temp sensor. But I broke it getting it out. Hopefully I don't break it putting it in, but I tried to break it loose with the wrench. Obviously wouldn't work. I had to break out the old ratchet here. I needed this on it, but the wife couldn't find it, so she brought me that wobbly. And this deep well, hopefully I can put it back in with that stuff and not break it. But that little thing was a booger to find on this CPI intake. I'll mention that because that actually took a minute to find. But now I got to put it back together. We did pull it up here in the shade. My big old oak tree with my squirrel feeder on. I've been neglecting the shit out my squirrels, guys. I haven't fed them in months and they're mad at me. But anyway, back to it. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in and try to get it jacked up to crawl under this side way down there and put the O2 sensor in. And guys, I screw up sometimes. I shouldn't be telling y'all this, but I will. Last time I had it jacked up somewhere back in here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. See that 4-aught back there? See that? Yeah. Jerry screwed up. So when I jack it up to do that O2 sensor, I got to wrap that wire. That is a hot wire. Luckily, the only thing it's been rubbing is the tire. On sharp turns, obviously. So I need to get that wrapped, insulated, protected, and moved in some. But we all screw up. I never thought that it would happen when I ran the wire there. I was like, no, it'll be good here. Shit, it ain't good. But anyway, I'm going to try to get this back in. It really ain't as bad as I honestly thought it would be. What the hell wrong with the alternator there? Get you cleaned up there, buddy. But yeah, shit happens. All right, I'm getting back to work. My hands were too big, guys. I couldn't really get it in there and started, and Deb's just like, she got the thing started and just went to work. The old snap-on ratchet's coming in handy today, guys.
Quarter turn at a time.
Hey, quarter turn's better than no turn. But she's about got her bottomed out. I'll probably jump in her just to make sure it's good and seated, but she got her in there. As long as we don't break the head of it off like I did the old one, we're golden. But anyway, I'll be back. So it's in, guys, and plugged in. We didn't break it. The old snap-on, the really short extension and the 3/4 made that job a lot easier. Deb got it as far as she could, and I kicked the old handle back about like that to get some more clearance, and I drove her home. So now I just need to put this cold air intake. Look at what I had to do to make it clear all this. Yeah, but you don't see that when it's on there. It actually looks good. We'll just pretend we didn't see that. That don't exist. But anyway, guys, that's my cold air intake temp sensor. So yeah. Oh, look at this radiator hose I had to make. We go from way down here to back here behind the alternators, and then loop around here, because that dual alternator bracket, that thing, it didn't fit for crap. I mean, I had to cut like a ton of it off to make it clear the hood. I had to notch the hood, yeah, and it still ain't 100% right, but we're gonna address that at a later time, like definitely. But anyway, for now, what I be needing to do is get this back on, and the part that I'm really dreading is jacking it up and getting that damn O2 sensor in there. And while I'm under here, I need to take this valve and close it so no warm water will get in the heater core. When you drive in the summertime, you don't want that. So yeah, I got a little bit of work to do, guys. Just send some good vibes to me that this is gonna fix our issue. I'm not really looking for prayers. If you want to send prayers, that's fine, but send some good vibes that this is gonna fix things. Yeah, and then we got the two Jangalang and Julian over there, Deb up on the porch, she waving at you. I don't think y'all can see. Let me zoom in. I thought she was gonna flash for a minute. We got some dogs running around here. I don't even know why I show you all this shit, but this is my daily like life, you know.
2 days a week.
2 days a week. Yeah, I do this shit in the backyard. And I try to keep all my stuff stored behind my, yeah, that ain't even a lean-to. I don't know what the hell that is. I think some meth head lived here before I did, and they built that onto the pump house. I don't know. But all right, guys, that's enough vape. I'm gonna get back at it. Yeah, we had to take a quick detour. The wife bought something off Marketplace, and you know how them people are. They always be running late and don't know where the hell you're at. Just, yeah, but
Park pass.
it's a shampooer for a dog. Like, I'm not talking like a tub for a dog that you would shampoo it in, but I'm talking, you know, like your carpet upholstery cleaner. It's one of them for a dog. I don't think our dogs are gonna like that a whole lot, but the wife gets bored, and yeah, I might be showing you some like fluffy ass dogs before long. Who knows?
I'm a groomer. It'll
Right.
happen.
Or worst case scenario, we use it on the furniture. It's got dog hair on it, so I mean, it should work. But anyway, we're headed back home so I can. Hopefully, there's still going to be shade where the Blazer's parked at, and I got to get it up on a jack, which is a bitch, by the way. That thing's so low. But hopefully, I can get it on a jack and get it jacked up. Jack stands under it, which is a must. But being in the yard, I got to put wood down to put the jack stands on so they don't sink into the ground. And then I'm scared the whole time I'm under that thing. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm scared that I'm gonna die because the frame's like that high off the ground. It will kill me if it falls. But that is my plan, is to get under there and hope the hell that I can get this O2 sensor swapped out. And then we're gonna go test it. Like, we're gonna drive it for a good while to see how it does. So I'll be back. All right, guys, I got it out. And look at this crap. The plug, the wire connectors. Now you're gonna laugh. This is the tool I had to use to get it out, and there's no room up under there. And then stick that on there, babe. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The straight clipping, yeah, the old straight clipping breaker bar for the wind. And I have some much longer ratchets than that, but I wasn't going to use a good ratchet. I mean, that's the Mac, but
We only have Max Snap on our craft.
yeah, it fit in the handle. And I'll show y'all in a minute where this thing goes. It was like, there's no room hardly at all. And I literally had like one hand over the frame, between the body and the frame, and like all tucked back in there, pulling on the very end of this pipe just to get that thing broke loose. But
Well, why you want to do that to an
Yeah.
$8 part?
well, that wasn't an $8 part. That was like a $30-some part.
But
But
still.
yeah, it looks like they just went to pick and pull and got an old one and spliced the connectors on it. So I'm getting ready to stick this one in, guys. This thing, it is like just wore me the hell out. It's like hot as hell. I'm laying half on the ground, half on my creeper. Sketchy as hell. I couldn't fit the board on there and get the jack under it, because when we put the 18s on it, I went for a lot lower profile tire. So it shrunk like an inch and a half. And I really need the board under the jack so it don't sink in the ground, but we just kind of did the best we could. And then I put the jack stands, they're on 12-inch cutouts under the frame, and I got the jack under it for safety. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna get back to work. Here's something you don't see every day, guys. A woman actually up under a car doing something, and I don't know what I just knocked down. Oh, my wife set her vape on my phone. Okay, so it didn't break, thank heavens. But yeah, Deb's under there trying to get that O2 sensor started. It's in a bad location, and I would turn it and turn it and turn it. Think I had it started, and then like just tug on it and it'd come right out. I ordered it on Amazon. I don't even know if it fits the hole. Like, honestly. But it was such a bitch to get the old one out that it's getting one in it. It's getting a new one, whether it's that one or I have to go to the store. If I had a welder at my new house, I would just cut that section of pipe out, swap the damn thing in, and then weld it back up. It'd be a hell of a lot easier than where it's at, but I got it out. And she's struggling, just like I struggled to get that one out. We're struggling to get the other one threaded in. I don't know why Chevy does some stupid, which Ford does stupid shit too. Like all car manufacturers, it seems like after like about 1980, they just put shit at the stupidest places where you can't get to it. I think they want you to take your cars to the shop to have them worked on. It's the dealership, but we backyard and we'll get it. It's just hot as hell laying right there because the top half of your body will be in the shade. The lower half will literally be out in the cooking ass sun. So, and we got overcast right now, which is great. But yeah, and did I mention you get itchy as hell laying in the grass? Because only part of you will be on that little ass creeper. It sucks. But hey, if your wives get down and do shit like mine, that is awesome as hell. If not, I'm sorry guys. I know a lot of guys tell me their wives they do not support their hobbies or help and shit. And for me, that would suck. I'm kind of thankful to have a wife that ain't afraid to get out and work on my vehicle, her vehicle, or whatever. Deb's a trooper for real. But anyway, I'll be back if we ever get this thing in, or I'll be on my way to the parts store to get one. I don't know. We'll be back though. Go, Deb. All right, so that's where it's at. I had to get in through like here. I had to get in through this area, stick my hand on top of this frame here with that breaker bar and that tool on it. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt, guys. Since we changed out that temp sensor, we got some distilled water to top the radiator off. But honestly, guys, I'm gonna go up on the porch in the shade and get me a break. I just wanted to crawl in there and show you where that thing was at. Man, it was a pain in the ass, but straight clipping and make a good breaker bar. Actually, this is out of my old build, and for my braces inside that top chamber, I just had them pipe ends that you slide the pipe down in and tighten a set screw. You can tell like it didn't flex at all, guys. You can look at the grooves where the set screw hit it. It never moved, which is only one big hex head or Allen wrench type set screw, but you can tell which end I took off and which one I pretty much didn't. But yeah, looking at that, it never, all that pressure, it never flexed in there. So that just lets me know that these things, because a lot of people want to use the screw on ends. Problem is you never can find one that fits right. You know, they're either too short, too long. That you can kind of cut your pipe to length where you can kind of tilt it after you loosen them. You know what I'm saying. But anyway, I'll be back. So you can kind of see we're only through right here. It didn't go through there, but that welding cable is some thick stuff, and it apparently had been rubbing ever since I built this thing. So yeah, we're getting ready to fix all this though. I'll be back. As you can see, I got it all fixed. I built it up with Testa tape, about yay thick. Then I went over it with some of this good 3M brand electrical tape, put a big insulation coating on it, shoved it behind the ground wire, got all these wires tucked up all the way up to here so it's not touching anything. That way if the tire would go back and touch anything, it's gonna be the ground. We don't care. The ground, I mean, all of this metal is ground. You know what I'm saying? So I got that. While I got it up in the air, I found out that that one plug I couldn't change on this other side in the very back. I should, while I got this thing jacked up. I should be able to get right. Where the hell is it at?
To the right.
Haha, it's right. No, it's for a second. It's back there. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get that sumbitch while I got this thing up. Just because if I can find the old plug for it. Well, it's a new plug, but I don't know where we put the new plug. But if I can find it, I'm gonna change it. Okay, so we got the Blazer all put together. Took it on a test drive. On a good note, it does play 14 hertz like really well. But on the downside is it's still randomly just dying when you're driving along. Like when we got to the test spot, which is probably like 10 miles away, it died right before we was getting ready to pull in. Fires right back up though. It's idling way better. It ain't getting rich at idle like it used to be able to smell raw fuel at idle, but it's not doing that anymore, but the damn dying. So at this point, I don't know what the hell is wrong with it. We got home. I had to fill up the power steering fluid on it, which is normal with that thing. What else we had to do? Oh, I checked the fuel pressure on it, and it's holding 65 at idle. You rev it up, it doesn't drop. So fuel pressure is great. Just don't know what the hell is wrong. Two things I'm getting ready to try is the throttle position sensor.
For GPS.
A throttle position sensor, because the air idle controller only affects it at idle. It's idling fine. So a throttle position sensor, and if that don't work, I'm gonna unplug the EGR valve and hope that it's shut and sealed when I unplug it, and that might be the problem. If not, I need to make a block off plate for it anyway, because they just kind of make shit run like shit. But anyway, that's where I'm at, and I'll give y'all updates. So we end this video where we began. We can't get right. Coolant temp sensor, O2 sensor, still does the same thing. I determined it ain't the throttle position sensor, but I went and got a fuel filter for it and put it on, and we thought we had it fixed. We drove this thing like a good 20 minutes, and it ran beautifully. And then I commented on how good it was doing, and it just randomly died. We kept on our drive, and it died 2 more times. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm honestly beginning to think it is the fuel pump. I think the fuel pump is just getting warm and losing pressure, and it dies. And basically at that point, while it takes that minute or that couple of seconds to pull over and restart it, that the cold gas in the tank is cooling it down enough that it just fires right back up. I don't know. So I guess next weekend, I'm probably going to go ahead and drop the tank in this thing and put a fuel pump in it, because we've ran the majority of the gas out. So I don't know, man. If I put a fuel pump in it and it still does this shit, I'm going to be bent as hell. But I need to put a fuel pump in it with the whole complete sending unit, because we broke it last time. I just put like a pump only in it. And the sending unit arm kind of broke where it fits into, and we just do a zip tie around it to get it back on the road, because we were in Fayetteville at Ruckus. So I don't know, guys. This has got me bent. But anyway, that's why I call it can't get right. It just can't get right. Anyway, yeah. Peace out, guys, and as always, base on.
on this red pill to make this our world. Gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to